welcome to today's meditation. Today we're going to be going through a meditation, a little visualization that is going to help you counteract what I like to call the summer burn. And the truth is that in the summer months, especially if you're in a location like me, you've got a lot of heat, you've got a lot of humidity, elements of fire and water are seemingly running rampant, and it influences our existence. Our external environments do influence our internal environments. So when it is very hot, very humid, very stormy, you're going to be influenced whether you believe it or not. You can see imbalances. You can see that external environment and those elements start to influence your internal environment, and it will show up as feeling like angst, feeling anger, on edge, a little bit fiery, maybe a little short-tempered. It can even show up as being really sensitive in like your skin or your digestion, getting digestive issues like heartburn. Summer actually is one of my times where I am very sensitive to skin irritations, and I will get like heat rash. It's one of the ways that your external environment shows up as an imbalance when things are out of whack, and it is a symptom that clues you in to needing to do some balance. So this meditation today is all focused around how to counteract that summer burn. And ideally, this is also a great meditation to do even when you're just feeling kind of extra fiery. It's going to have the same effect because you're really trying to take your internal environment that is going to be more predominantly fiery, and it's going to help cool and ground. So it's going to allow you to check in, to calm down, and then really focus on leaning into those more soothing and grounding energies to balance out those hot summer burn energies. So feel free to utilize this as like a seasonal meditation, or just when you're feeling a bit snippy and you're feeling a bit fiery. So as we always like to start, I'm going to invite you to clear your area, to designate your meditation space. Doesn't have to be big. It can just be a chair. It can just be a spot on your floor, whatever it is. But try to close your door, give yourself this time for your meditation. Limit any distractions, any other influences. So if you've got pets, make sure they're put outside. If you've got a lot of sounds around you, try to find the most quiet space that you can focus in your building, and then turn off your devices. It's always a temptation just to go silent mode, but if you can, put your dinging and notification type devices elsewhere for just a few minutes during this meditation, and allow yourself to find a comfortable and supported seat. So particularly if you are newer to meditation, I'm going to suggest that you have some back support, because your posture does tend to release when you're sitting. You can start to round, and then we become focused on our posture when we don't have that support because we're responsible for holding it. It's a little thing, but it's one of those things I found truly helps. So put a pillow, lean against a wall, sit in a comfortable chair, whatever that might be, and then allow yourself to rest your body. And that is just settling in. Roll your shoulders, roll your neck, whatever's going to help you sink into this present moment. Give yourself just a few moments to adjust and find that comfortable seat. And we're going to start with a sort of body scan to check in with ourselves. I'm going to walk you through some breathing as well as some cues that will guide you through our intro mindfulness. Then we're going to get into that visualization and meditation portion where you're really the driver. And I'm going to be giving you suggestions to help sort of anchor you in your meditation. I'm going to leave times of silence so that you're able to sink a little deeper. If your mind wanders, because all of our minds wander, it's okay. Bring yourself back. Next time you hear my voice, bring yourself back, listen to the words, follow the cue, come back and refocus. At the very end, we're going to take just a couple minutes to allow your mind to sort of freely open with some suggested guidance. And hopefully that will be your cue to sort of free the reins on your mind a little bit and allow some natural wandering of your mind. At the end of this meditation, the intention is that you're going to walk away feeling more grounded. You're going to feel cooled. You're going to feel centered and be able to go out as that balanced individual ready to conquer the day, feeling aligned with the world as opposed to fiery and on edge, so that you can go out and do the work that you need to do. So let's get started. Find your comfortable seat if you haven't already. And when you feel comfortable, go ahead and slowly close your eyes. You can also rest your eyes if closing your eyes is not accessible or comfortable. You feel unsafe. You do what you need to do. When you close your eyes, you can bring your attention from your external space. You're going to bring it internal. You're going to acknowledge any sounds, feelings, any smells, any sensation or input coming from your external environment. You're going to acknowledge that, check in, become comfortable and aware with that, and then you're going to let that go. You're going to start to bring your focus to your breath. And you're just going to use that as your anchor to start off with, to pull you into your mind body. Allow yourself the free breath just to follow whatever your natural breathing rhythm is right now, but you're going to focus on your breath. And if you're able to close your mouth and breathe through your nose so that you can really follow the sensation of the breath as you inhale through the nose, following the path of that air through your sinuses down into your lungs, filling your lungs, expanding your diaphragm, breathing even into your belly, and then exhaling, contracting the diaphragm, squeezing the air out of the lungs, and feeling that warmer exhalation as it leaves your body through the nose. Allow yourself to just follow the sensation. And then to take control of your breath. So using that intention to change the rhythm of your breath, to change the quality of your breath. You're going to take very intentional breaths in through the nose, focusing on a smooth, deep breath, breathing in that fresh air, and then holding and exhaling out slow and long, using the breath to bring you more into this moment, to turn the tides on that automatic response. Breathing is a very automatic thing. It's controlled by our nervous system, and we have the ability to take control, and it flips us out of that automatic response, which is also responsible for that fight or flight type response in our bodies. And the intentional breath will allow you to regulate. So follow the inhales and exhales, holding a little bit at the top, a little bit at the bottom. And bring your awareness into your physical body as you are taking these deep breaths. And just starting from the top of your head, scan down your body to note, where do you feel that excess heat? Is it in your mind? Is it scattered thoughts that seem to be on edge, that seem to be bouncing? Do you feel that little bit of edge to your thoughts? As you travel down, do you feel heat in your throat? Do you feel heat in the chest? Does it feel like there's weight? Maybe it's that heavy feeling where you feel impatient. You feel ready to react. Just note as you move down your body, over your shoulders, down your chest, into your stomach. How does your digestive system feel right now? Is it feeling like it is a system that energizes you, that is working hard to help guide you through the day and push, blood and nutrients throughout your body? What is happening? And notice if there does seem to be, if you feel excess heat, if you are someone who experiences heartburn, or if you just feel like there's stagnation there. Notice what that feels like for you in this moment. And then if even in some of your muscles, as you move down farther, does there seem to be heat locked in your hips? You feel like your emotions are right on the edge and right on the surface, as opposed to being something deep within your body and deeply rooted. Do you feel the emotions just waiting to spring free? And then scan down over your legs, all the way to your toes, just to truly take in. Give yourself this moment to check in with yourself, to notice any of the sensation. If you do have certain areas that feel out of balance, that feel like too much, there's an excess of sensation, using that deep breath, just breathe into those areas in this moment. Giving yourself permission to release. Use the breath and push that breath into those areas of tension, into those areas of heat. And imagine that with each breath, you are sending this intention of release, of calming to each of those areas. And with each intentional deep breath, you are introducing air into the body, into the system. You are creating space for these points of tightness and tension in your physical body, in your mind. And you are intentionally expanding, you are intentionally calming with this breath. So So take a couple minutes here and just breathe into what you feel in this moment, whether it be emotional, whether it be physical. And using your breath, focus the effort, focus the energy on dissipating, on giving that extra space to those points. Just soothing the rough, fired up edges. And as you allow your breathing to return to its natural cadence, keep the focus of your mind on your internal space. And imagine those embers, little points of light in your mind's eye. Imagine seeing the fiery intensity that you've been feeling as a fire, as a flame. Tap into that elemental influence that drives that feeling. And you're taking any of these sensations, any of this overwhelm that you've been experiencing, and you're going to visualize it as a fire, or even as a combination of fire and maybe, if you feel like you're being swept away and you've been overwhelmed, that you're fighting like a raging river, which is also a very predominant element in summer. Visualize that feeling into that strong flow of water where it seems chaotic in its dominance. Notice how wild it looks. Bring your memory back to different points in your recent history where you felt the overwhelm of the fire, the anger, the impatience, where you felt the heat and discomfort in your stomach, where you felt your skin burn. And visualize that as that fire. And you're pulling all this different sensation and you're pulling it all into this one central fire, or this one raging river. See that element attaching those feelings. What does it look like? Is it chaotic? Is it unpredictable? Maybe it's just sparking. Maybe it's just a little bit more than normal. Maybe it's raging. Allow your mind to pluck instances from your life. Whenever you think about that burn, that raging sensation, that is so overwhelming, moments of overwhelm, moments of excess in your life. Pluck that from your memory, feeling the sensation of that moment and putting it into that visual. Does it build into a firestorm? Or is it just a very robust flame? Does it look like a storm in and of itself? Notice how you add each recent experience. And when you stop and you observe this strong, high energy burn, this fire, know that you have the ability, you have the control in your mind body to influence this raging storm or fire. That you can change your internal environment. The external environment is going to exist, but you can control your internal environment. You are not at the whim of what's happening internally. You can influence it. You can shift your energy. And so as you see this overwhelming visual of energy, you're going to think of the element that soothes. When you think of fire, water is the cooling element that can balance it out. If you have a combination, you've got a raging river, what stands up to the raging river? Earth, air. And you're going to imagine in your mind's eye that you're able to ground your river. That you bring in those elements and you counteract that chaotic energy. That you take that fiery, chaotic ball that you see and you're going to cool it. Allow water, allow earth to contain it. It exists within you always. But it's your external environment that's influencing it to overwhelming strength right now. You don't want to put out the fire. You don't want to dry the river. You want to calm it so that it's not burning, scalding heat, but rather it's just warming energy. You choose to send that intention and calm that overwhelming storm. And whatever your visualization is focused on, if it is a visual of a storm or it is a visual of a flaming bonfire, your intention to calm starts to soothe the wild, starts to shrink the flames, calm the storm. and you notice that the heat dissipates, the intense energy begins to lower. You don't feel scalded anymore, but you feel warmth, you feel comfort. Comfort that moves throughout your whole body, cooling every corner, every cell of your body and your mind. Like a cooling rain after a really hot summer day that doesn't just coat the surface to cool, but it permeates. It reaches down and it sizzles through the ground. You can see the steam coming off the ground with a cooling rain on a hot day. And you can feel that cooling, calming sensation throughout your entire being. Your intention and your decision to focus your energy to balance that fire, that storm, to calm, reaches every part of you. And as you sit feeling this permeating coolness through your thoughts, through your body, think of those moments from your past or your future where you're doing something that further brings you that balance, something in your life, jumping into a cool lake, playing on the edge of a cool ocean, standing in a breezy field with your toes in soft grass, calm and open, balanced and relaxed. Take a couple moments to think of those experiences that bring you that cooling balance to your mind and body. And as you see yourself experiencing these activities, give yourself permission to seek them out later. But also allow yourself to use your own thought and intention to cool and calm. And as you take a couple of deep breaths in, filling your lungs, notice that the air is cooler, both on your inhale and your exhale. Notice that your body has calmed, that the heat has dissipated. and giving yourself a moment to wiggle your fingers and toes, open your eyes, and taking a big deep breath in and exhale out, releasing that last bit of storm of heat and allowing that calm cool to be present. I hope that this meditation was helpful. I hope you were able to dedicate some time and space to it today. If you were not able to complete the full meditation, then by all means, please do this at another time or take pieces of this meditation to do on your own. I always like to recommend doing the mindfulness as a practice all unto itself. I have mindful moments in my video library that you can look for, but it is something that I like to include in these meditations. So I hope you enjoyed today. Please let me know how this season is working for you. And I hope that you can manage that summer burn and avoid that excess so that you can take advantage of all the wonderful things that this season has to offer. I'll see you next time.